Hey guys, it's Erin or Everyday Erin, and I am back with another video. Whew, it's been a while. It's been 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks today since my last video. Kristen had to travel for a funeral 2 weeks ago, which kind of put our life in a bit of upheaval. And then when she got back, I was a little bit sick. I wasn't so much sick. I was exceptionally tired, and I just felt like I couldn't catch up on sleep. I just felt run down, really, really run down. So I took some time to myself, and I know you guys all understand, but I wanted to account for where I have been. I did film a video while Kristen was gone of a tour of the craft room because it wasn't a tour. I cleaned my craft room. Half of it was relatively clean and half of it, what did I call it in the last video? Chaos? I don't know. It was awful. So that video will be coming out, I think, next week sometime. I gotta edit it. And yeah. So let's catch up a little bit on what I have been up to crafty. First, I think we'll start with the goals that I set for January because what is it now? February 8th. So in January, I set 3 goals. One was to finish a sweater that I was working on, which I'll talk about in a minute. Another was to finish the cross-stitch snow globe, which I did. I showed you that in the last video. And the third was to work on card kits, which I once again forgot to bring downstairs, but I did do that. So the first goal was to finish a sweater that I had started. And I did and I didn't at the same time. So let's talk about this sweater. This is it's a drops pattern, but I gotta find the name of it. The Deep Woods sweater. And I had this beautiful purple, oh, look at all that dog hair. I had this beautiful purple, that's not a great color, but yarn from the sheep farm. And I knit the sweater. I knit the first sleeve, finished the first sleeve, tried it on, felt like the sweater was probably 1 to 2 sizes too oversized on me, and said, okay, I'm just going to go with it. It'll be an oversized wear at home sweater, and started working on the second sleeve. And I haven't lint brushed this yet, so I finished the first sleeve. Has this really nice cable down it. 2 cables, actually. There's 2 small cables and then a big cable in the middle. And then I was knitting along on the second sleeve, and there is dog hair literally all over this. That's the thing about rustic wool, is that dog hair sticks to everything. Anyway, so I'm knitting along on my sleeve, going merrily we go along, and I missed a cable cross here. Merrily we go along more, and I missed another cable cross here, which you probably won't be able to see unless I hold it up closer. And even then, I don't even know if then you'll be able to see it, but I can see it. It's all I can see. Yeah, you can't really see it. So I missed 2 cable crosses in the 4-stitch cable. And I started to get ready to tink back. And that's when I decided I'm going to frog this sweater. I don't like the fit, and the cables are crossed wrong. I think it was a sign from above that I should just frog it and either start it at a later date in a different size, or use the yarn for another sweater. So that's why it's finished, meaning I'm finished with it, and I'm going to call that a win because I made a decision about it, and I'm actually going to take care of this today. I was just waiting to show all my lovely YouTube friends the sweater. So that was January goals, and pretty pleased. February goals, I set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals. Someday I'll bring the cards down to show you, but I keep forgetting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals in February. One is I want to get 2 months done on this cross stitch, so I want to do July and August on this monthly failure of a stitch along that I did with a friend. So that's one goal. That shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. That shouldn't be too hard. One of them has a sheep, so. My second goal is a secret project that I'm going to be doing. Third goal is to make 6 cards, which shouldn't be difficult. My fourth goal is, I'm going to start this. I might start this today. I'd like to knit this cute little Cupid doll. Oh, I didn't pull out a flesh color. Okay, so I'll show you the yarns that I have pulled out for it. And I'll need to pull a flesh color too. This is just a myriad of sport weight yarn. I'm going to use this for the clothing at the bottom, the white for the wings, the yellow for the hair, and then I will pull out a flesh tone color. So I would like to knit that. I've knit these little creatures. The last one I made was a creature, so I'll call it a creature. I've knit these little dolls before, and they go pretty quickly, so I'm gonna try and get that done. And the last thing is, let me pull it up. Kristen asked for a very specific sweater. She saw it on TikTok. There was a knitter who was knitting it, and she loved it. So I bought the yarn for it, and it's by Hudson and Westco, and it's called the Awen, Awen sweater. And maybe if I turn it, that'd be better. There you go. This is a heavily cabled, which I'm really enjoying, seamed sweater. She likes to challenge me, and I'm up for the challenge, and she's worth it. So I would like to start that. I have no delusions that I will finish it this month, probably not even next month, but I want to get started on that, and that seems really fun. So those are my February goals. 3 goals in January, 5 in February. I feel like I'm setting myself up for disaster. Anyway, all right, what have I worked on, finished, etc. since the last time I saw you? First was the Viking. Was I working on the Viking last time I saw you? I feel like I was. Anyway, here he is. He's complete, or it's definitely a he, I think. He's done, and I did change it a little bit. These, you were supposed to put paint on the helmet, and I put in some baubles with alternating colors, and this also was supposed to be painted, and I didn't do that either. But I like how it turned out, and I was promptly contacted by a family member that wanted this, so that'll be going in the mail. Late, of course, but going in the mail. The next thing I finished was okay. I finished the sideways shell, and let me show you, because I have a marker here where I was the last time. Let's find it because I left it in. Why did I do that for? I don't know why I did that. Anyway. Alright, so that's where I was the last time. And I don't know that I'll be able to get this all in. Maybe I'll try and take a picture. Probably not. But here it is in all its glory. And you can probably see that marker further down. Can you? Let's see. Let's not block my face. And then maybe I can see if you can see the marker. No, I don't think you can see the marker. Okay, now I'm just being silly. Yeah, there's the marker right there. All right, that proves nothing. Maybe this way you can see. Oh, there you go. Whoa, I just fell back on the couch. There you go. That's the full blanket, and I did do an edging on it, and I love this blanket, and I was very tempted to start another one immediately, but I do have the scrappy granny square blanket that I'm working on, so I'm going to focus on that one as my scrappy project. I've done a lot of puzzles. Those I can't show you, and I don't really think many people would be interested in that, but done a lot of puzzles. And then I pulled out my Friendly Loom Pro. I don't know if I can get this out. This is like the potholder loom, but grown-up size. It is a potholder loom. Because I found something called Piglet's Portfolio of Priceless Potholder Patterns online. And I kind of went on a potholder bender, and I printed out all these, and I made a bunch of them. So I thought I'd show you those. These are varying sizes, and yeah, this is just like a standard pot holder, just over under weave, and this ends up being about 8 inches by 8 inches. 8 by 8. The pot holder loom is 10 by 10, and then when you bind it off, it takes off about an inch on each side. So there's that one. Then I made this one for Valentine's Day with hearts on it. I should probably block these, but they're just pot holders or trivets, so there's that one. I asked Kristen to pick one out, and she picked out this pattern and these colors for the Chiefs for the Super Bowl. And then there's this one too. I think this was called Wiggle Worm. Then I liked these colors together, so I did this one. Now, the difference with these pot holders is sometimes you go over 2 or under 2 or over 3 sometimes even, which makes the patterns. I love this one. And after I did this one, I thought this would be really cool in like a Southwestern theme. So I made this one. Or maybe this is the better way to show it. I think this way's better. And then I wanted an 80s type one. This one's a little bit different of a pattern. So I did, this is like Lisa Frank. And this one gave me a headache. I literally took it off the loom 3 times and had to rip it back out, and I just pulled a string. I'll just trim that when I get back upstairs. I did this one. And on the back, this one looks like this, so it's really cool. And yeah, so I worked on those. And I have a couple more here in my bag to work on some more. I also have this book of designs. This book is great, but it doesn't go into the over-under. I think it's called like shadow weaving or something. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong. All right, the last thing I worked on, I showed you in my last video, and that was a pair of socks out of some yarn from, I meant to look up the person's name. I still can't remember what it was. This is the yarn. Novita Nally. And this is from Finland. I want to say, I don't even know the name. I know I have to look it up because I have to remember how to pronounce it. So this is what the yarn looks like. It's a variegated yarn. It's bright and beautiful. And I'm just knitting a plain vanilla sock. Just turned the heel last night. And now I'm cruising along. These socks are going to be, I think, for me, so they should go pretty quickly, but who knows? I might change my mind when I get further down the foot, because I'd like to use up as much of that yarn as possible, but I could also use it in a scrappy project. So yeah, that is what I have been working on. Yeah. Okay, in my last video I mentioned sharing my sweater yarn stash, and I'm starting to pull patterns that I already have planned for things in that stash. So that should be coming in the next couple weeks. It's going to take a little bit of time. And there'll be the craft room video coming shortly. And I think that's just about it. I mean, Super Bowl Sunday this weekend, don't really do much. I make a dip that I like. So that's my Super Bowl, and I watch the commercials. I mean, yeah. I'll be watching for Taylor Swift too, because why not? Yeah. This is a cute mug. I love it. I have 3 of these with they all have a positive message. All right, enough rambling. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, I will talk to you later. All right, bye bye.